Do you have a specific strategy and routine for finding a car park? If questions like this have crossed your mind, then you're in good company. Today we'll be taking a closer look at some of the daily habits and social conventions that make up the monotony of life. Let's remind ourselves that we need to drink water throughout the day and only drink a quarter of a cup. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to turn my attention to you, Christian.
Yes.
We attended a beer festival recently. It was a lovely time. We're there with a few different friends, sitting around having some beers. At one point in the night, it was an evening session, you said, I'm going to get some food, get some dinner. And I was like, cool, can you get me some dinner as well?
Great.
And you said yes. And you said, what do you want? I said, I don't mind. Whatever you want to get me, I'm completely happy. That was my understanding, okay?
Yep.
Dion, what do you think happened? He went off to get some dinner and he came back, and what did he bring? What would you expect based on that exchange?
I would expect him to bring you something that is a kind of like a solid choice. Something that is universally accepted. Josh is very easygoing. Something is universally accepted. And I would think something that's consumable for dinner.
Yes. He brought me back just some chips. Some hot chips.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Really?
That's all you got me.
Hot chips?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you said, I'm not that hungry, I'll just have chips.
No. No way. Can you get me something for dinner? Whatever you want.
I don't think that's how the conversation
He had a
went.
kebab.
I didn't have a kebab.
What
What
did you
world
have?
are you living in?
What did you
Josh,
have?
how drunk
did
were
you
you?
have?
I had a pie.
He had a pie.
Hang on, this
would
is
have loved a pie.
Sorry. This was a beer festival. You were clearly both off your heads.
No.
Josh,
it was get me some food.
Right.
Whatever
so-
you're getting, mate. You got a pie. Where's my pie?
I don't think there was any point in time where we discussed me buying dinner for you.
Why did you get me food then?
Because I'm a nice guy.
No.
You're lucky I got you chips. And hot chips.
What size hot chips? Was it a small
I
or
can't
regular?
remember.
It was a decent size. It was, you know, those the cardboard burger holders was kind of one of those size.
Aren't they terribly named chip sizes? Small. What is regular? What does regular mean?
Just hang on. Why didn't you bring it up at the
Sorry.
time?
Because it was done. That was the moment.
That was the moment.
Wait.
But you didn't raise it. You didn't say just chips. And I would have said, what do you mean just chips?
Because you didn't.
You asked me for chips.
You did something nice to get me some food, but I think you just completely missed the mark.
No. You should have raised it.
Do you think in my head, I've gone, Josh, what would he like for dinner? Bowl of chips?
Yes. Yes.
100%. That is never going to happen. Why would I get a pie for myself
Yes.
for dinner and not also get you the same thing?
Great question. That's what was floating through my mind.
But you didn't raise it.
No.
In my mind, I have a memory of you saying, not that hungry. I ate pretty late, just something like some chips.
Nah, I wanted a proper... I was expecting whatever you got,
In
I would
fact-
get one of.
Hang on,
In
Christian.
fact-
Josh just
I know,
crossed his arms.
he did.
He just crossed his arms, and he does that when he's lying.
Because I can't
worried.
verify Christian's recollection.
Yeah.
I can't say absolutely that's what I said, but I won't confirm nor deny that.
Yeah.
It seems weird to just buy someone chips, right? Chips would have been the side.
Yeah.
I think a pie, probably... The pie was really good. I'm surprised you didn't raise it, though. Watching me eat the pie.
Yeah, why didn't I raise it? I think I wrote it down as a note to talk about on the show.
So you were like, I'll hold this. I'll eat the chips and be angry.
But because the moment had gone, right, it was like, yeah, I'll go get you something. And then you've come back and I've gone, that's really disappointing, mate. Thanks for nothing.
Actually, I was eating some of the chips too, wasn't I?
Yes.
Exactly. Ha! There's no way that I would have bought that for you for dinner and then tucked into it myself as well. They were communal chips.
No.
Because...
Oh, that's worse.
What?
You can't get chips as a... You can't...
No.
What?
There's no way that I would have gone out there thinking, I'll get Josh dinner,
Yeah.
buy him chips, and then tuck into it as well.
Why? They're chips.
No, because if it hadn't been his dinner, I wouldn't have touched it.
So what
they're
you're
chips.
saying is
My
you got me
motivation-
nothing.
No, I got you. You had
Right.
already eaten. He'd already eaten, and he said, I'll have something small, something like some chips. And I was like, I'll get some communal chips. That is what would have happened.
Just look at this rewriting of history.
Is there any security camera footage at the place that could indicate whether Josh ordered dinner?
Great question.
I mean, what would you do? Would you just say, "I'll have one"? Maybe we'll see a pointed finger somewhere.
But Dion, as a general point,
Yes.
if you request someone to get, for the sake of the conversation, forget the actual fact.
Have you been holding on? Have you been holding on to this since?
Dion, yeah. Heaps. Dion, what would you... do you think chips are an acceptable thing if someone says, get me some dinner, get me some food for dinner?
No, it's a side. It's like getting someone... No, and nor is a side salad. Chips is a side meal.
What if they're loaded fries?
That's right.
Ooh.
Unless they're loaded fries or wedges or something, and then...
Wedges. Yeah, but you know what I used to love having at Monash?
Wedges.
The wedgachos. It's the best.
Wow.
Instead of Doritos, it's wedges.
Wedges are...
It's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Is that
Shout outs to Sir John's Bar at Monash Clayton.
if it still exists.
What is a shout out?
It's me saying shout out.
What are you hoping Sir John's does in return?
They sub to the channel.
Okay, so you chance to like and subscribe.
Quick question. Your desert island vegetable. What is it? It's got to be potatoes. You cannot go past a potato.
Hang
I
on,
won't have it any other way.
Why have you picked
Something that's a fruit. Is it one of those?
Why have you picked something so difficult to cook when you're on an island by yourself?
Well,
what are you going to eat a potato raw? I'd pick a vegetable that I could eat fucking raw.
I don't want something that's easy to cook. I want a challenge on a desert
Diverse.
island because nothing else to do.
I'm with Dion. You want it as diverse as possible. Think about all the different ways and all the different things you can do with a potato.
If I'm on a desert island, I'm thinking of caloric intake alone. I'm thinking about staying alive.
It's a thought experiment, Christian. It's not literally, and I wouldn't have gas to cook. It is. No, the question is, what is the one thing that you would want to have for the rest of your life?
What? That isn't the thought experiment.
No.
The thought experiment, then why not say, what vegetable would you like to eat the rest of your life?
It's less romantic.
No, it's less romantic because of the desert island.
No, you placed us on a desert island for a reason.
Yeah.
Coconut.
Is coconut's on a vegetable?
Oh, great. So what? Wait.
But it's on the island, right?
Wait, what's your interpretation?
This is my Christian voice right now.
What's your interpretation of desert
You
island?
asked if you're on a desert island,
Yeah.
what vegetable would you like?
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm saying the one that is easy to eat so I don't have to think about cooking it all the time.
No, Josh, take
Okay,
issue with
this
this.
is so dumb because if you're going to get...
Christian, you've interpreted the thought experiment wrong.
Yes,
hang on.
if you're going to get specific and detailed about the reality of if I was on a desert island, then you don't get to pick one vegetable.
Why?
Because you're on a desert island if you want to go that far. But you don't just magically have unlimited
Hang on,
potatoes.
but you gave me parameters to explore. You said here's the thought experiment. You have a vegetable to pick on this desert island. So this magical desert island...
Well, you don't pick potatoes, you dig them out of the ground.
Out of the sand.
But you were saying on this desert island, you have one vegetable. One vegetable for some reason grows on this desert island.
No.
Which one?
That's not what it is
No.
it?
Rephrase the question.
It's desert island with a vegetable delivery service.
Yeah.
It's
and
not
small gas stoves.
Yes.
Fuck.
Near thermal... No, it happens to be near thermal pools, and so you could boil them.
You can boil the potatoes.
And you didn't know that, and you would have got zucchini. You would have been boiling zucchini all day long. I was talking to my brother the other day, and he bought a computer off Gumtree, and within a couple of days, the computer failed, and he needed to take it to Apple. So he went to a shopping centre, drove there, and was apparently trying to find a park for absolutely ages. Ugh. In a shopping centre, big shopping centre. He was trying to find a park for 45 minutes.
45?
Couldn't find a park, had driven half an hour to go to the shopping centre, drove home.
Park in the street nearby.
Drove home. Crazy.
There's a limit. If you're at a multi-level car park at a shopping centre, I think after 10 minutes of driving around, if there's no spots... That's it, right? Like you have to go check elsewhere.
But what's your strategy when you're at a multi-level car park? They've got those green and red lights as well, which are just... they're great, but they're inaccurate
they're awesome.
as well.
They are inaccurate,
Imagine if traffic lights were that inaccurate.
I think a multi-level car park is almost the most frustrating parking experience you can have because, and it's like they're thousands of my mums, right? They all do the same thing. They enter at the ground floor, they see where the main entrance is, and then they circle the bays around the spots around there
with that?
for 15 minutes.
Oh, great.
What's wrong with
That's an okay strategy.
No, it's not a strategy because it takes you 15 minutes to wait for a spot. Why not just go up to the level above when there's thousands of spots?
Yes, I agree.
And
with
then
you.
just walk down or take the lift.
Hang on. What did you think Christian meant there?
No, I knew what he meant, but I'm saying I don't see anything inherently wrong with going for gold and being like, I'm going to try and get the perfect car spot. I'm going to go right to the door.
Why?
Good question.
You can try it on.
Fascinated. No. Yes, try it on, but do it with like a casual look, like a casual drive-by.
Like don't quite look, pretend you're not looking.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to catch the eye of a girl across the
the
dance
secret.
floor. You're like, no, I'm not really looking for a park, don't worry.
Great if a car park could look back at you and give you a look.
Oh, yeah, that's the only way you got to park.
That one just winked at me. I totally with you though of just go to the far spot. Don't worry about it. And generally, if I'm in a parking, a big complex or something, I would rather park alone with my car, not near idiots who could scratch it.
Hang on. Josh, just going back, your motto in one of your mottos in life about, efficiency and everything. What about a prolonged walk to the shop door?
But exactly as Christian said, the efficiency comes from instantly parking instead of driving
He's
around.
also getting some exercise.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
very
true.
important in this day and age.
It is.
But I do like being parking away from everything and being separate because you don't have to worry about. And I think you're so much more susceptible to it in parking garages and stuff like that, of people knocking and hitting your car and trolleys and all that kind of jazz.
So is your preferred parking spot has what around you, Josh?
If you're on a multi-level, give me next to the pylon. Then at
really?
least on one side, you're guaranteed
Yeah.
no one's stuffing your car.
What about if it's trolleys?
No, stay away from trolley bays. Very far away from trolley
Why are
bays.
you guys so worried about getting hit in? Has your car ever been scratched in a car park?
Yes.
Really? Out of yours?
I don't. The thing is, you couldn't tell if yours had been scratched. That's fair. And same as me, to be honest.
And and I couldn't tell, but it has been.
Yeah. But I don't trust anyone else and their cars and their flying doors.
Just on the parking garages, can anyone explain to me what surface they cover the ground in and some of those ones that squeak unbelievably loudly? What have they done to that surface?
Oh, God.
That you turn slightly
It's screaming.
What else squeaks like that? Nothing
a
else.
mouse.
What? Is it mice?
Is it mice?
It must be mice.
But why have they done that?
Yeah. Just keep it the regular. Why have they?
Oh, an alert system.
What?
It's an alert system for other drivers.
Maybe it is.
Oh my
For
God.
pedestrians walking through.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
Oh
why
my
they've either got
God.
that surface or heaps of mice.
Directing the traffic.
Little mouse there with one of those traffic poles. Might get paid $40 an hour.
Hey, this is the life.
Just have to wink at the drivers.
But what also are you willing to pay when you enter one of those multi, and when it's like spend over $30 and you get free parking, if it's a couple of bucks, God, we get sucked into that easily. Yeah. It's almost like the money isn't that important. It's more having to bypass those ticket machines. If you can bypass those ticket machines, God, they're annoying. And those ticket machines, people take so long there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how long. ATM times 50,000.
Can I just say what really annoys me is driving into a lot of these multi-level car spots where they have a boom at the front.
A boomer.
A boom. That too, yeah.
You can touch on your credit card or debit card.
Yes,
and then
yes.
you don't have to pay for parking with a ticket. You can just touch off your credit card at the boom gate.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Why don't they advertise that as a possible scenario?
I do not know. I think it might be because it's maybe got more redundancy or something.
I think it's... Do you know why? I think it's because they need a trick of the trade to tell their friends and family. Like... Just use your credit card.
Do you reckon
we don't tell anyone?
They'd get a discount surely on car parking, wouldn't they?
Who? The people that work there?
Yeah.
I think it's like boomers.
The mice.
Yeah.
I hate paying for car parking. There's one thing.
Yeah.
There's very few things I hate more. Very few things. So much so that I will really, really reluctantly ever pay for parking.
Really?
But you know when I cop it? In the CBD. I just go, yep, just pay the $6 or whatever it is for the 1 hour. Because normally it's like I'm there for a particular reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'd tram in, but if I have to drop something off or whatever, I'm like, just pay the money.
I would say Christian is very, very liberal with paying for parking. I just reckon convenience for you in that situation is just like, I'll just do it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm most of the time getting public transport into the CBD. But if I'm driving, I know that there's no spots anywhere. Like, I already know that. I don't need to go on that journey and be frustrated. Because one of the most frustrating things, I'd rather pay $20 than driving 6 meters, stopping at the lights, driving another 6 meters, getting caught in traffic to turn left at the main road. Like, that's infuriating.
When your ticket is about to expire, how lenient are you in letting your car stay there for a little bit?
Oh, yes.
How concerned are you that you're going to get booked?
Well, there's two situations here. There's the ticket that has the time printed on it.
Yes.
So say you put in $4 and it goes, you've paid up until 4:42.
Yes.
Yep.
You cannot miss that because it says it on the dash. Whereas if I'm in like a 2 hour,
Yes.
say I get it at midday,
Yep.
I'm giving myself 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh,
But
really?
are they giving you 10 to 15 minutes?
No, but it depends when they. And I
Yes.
feel like I would be very unlucky
Yes.
if 3 minutes from now a guy came past and checked my car.
How many minutes are you giving yourself, Dion? So you've got a 2 hour spot.
Yeah.
How long?
Let's say, you get in at midday, you've got a 2 hour spot. I'm getting back probably 2:10. Yeah, 2:10, 2:15. That's about as far as I'll push it.
You're either doing 10 to 15 minutes or you're doing an extra 3 hours, I reckon.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? And just rolling the dice
Yeah.
all the way.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do an hour plus, I think.
Really?
Wow.
Because I'm banking on the fact that cars in those spots, they're moving pretty often. To have someone monitoring, like, to pay, how many staff are they employing to walk up and back that same street? I reckon that they do 1 or 2 sweeps, and if you get caught in that net, you're fucked.
Good job being a parking attendant. Do you think you'd be good at it? Do you think you'd enjoy it?
No.
I don't. I think that Josh, would you get... Oh, imagine Josh as a parking attendant.
Yeah,
you get
Josh would be
shitloads
great
of satisfaction.
because you have the law on your side.
Yeah.
Like at any given, because I don't like confrontation, therefore I don't like the job. But Josh enjoys confrontation when he's right.
Confrontation and a stick with chalk on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I would be quite happy if, and I don't understand the system if you can just like cancel one. If you're starting to put it in, I've already put it in, mate. I'd be more than happy to be like, yeah, it's cool. But the thing is, if they're already like 40 minutes late, you'd be like, nah, you're already 40 minutes late, dude.
Yeah.
If it was like 4 minutes, you'd be like, all right, don't worry about it.
Yes.
I'd pay to see Josh as a parking inspector. I would actually pay to see him.
You'd pay his wage.
So would the city of Stonington. They love it.
Christian, would you pay? Honest to God,
What do you mean?
I would pay, if I had to pay $200 for a day to follow Josh around and be a parking inspector. Think about it. Think about it.
No, what you're excited about, can I break it down a bit more?
Absolutely.
You would pay money to watch Josh interact with strangers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think that having a structure over it is nice.
Yeah.
But I think that I'd just like to watch Josh interact with strangers as well.
That stick with the chalk on it, do you think that's ever been used as a defense mechanism?
Would have carried on the divide.
Apparently, this is something I learnt as well. Apparently, if they chalk your tyres, all you need to do, and I talked to a parking inspector about this. I went up to a parking
It's like
inspector.
a magician revealing his tricks.
I went up to a parking inspector and I said, hey, do I actually need, if I want to park in the same spot that I'm parked in now, what do I have
Yes.
to, how can I do that? And he was like, all you need to do, a couple of rotations of that wheel, and the chalk is gone.
No, it's not.
No,
It
but
is,
he's not
No,
giving
it's-
you the actual...
Yeah.
Because I looked into this, because I got a bunch of fines once when I used to
Wow.
work somewhere where I had to park my car, and I would literally go and move it, and I got done. And you know, and I'm sure I've talked about this in the podcast before, you know what really annoyed me was I saw other people who just rubbed the chalk off with their hand.
Yes.
I bothered to pull out and then pull back in.
Yes.
And I still got fined. And what it actually is you to leave the parking area, it's either divided by a driveway or the end of a
Yes.
parking sign.
I didn't know the driveway thing. I knew the parking sign thing.
a driveway will break a parking area. So you have to leave that parking area. You don't have to go around the block or anything, but you have to leave that parking area and then
come
you can go back to your spot.
To the exact same spot.
Yes.
And you could have, what if the chalk's still on your tire?
But that's the thing, right? It shouldn't be. But if it happens to be, then they would probably fine you and be like, nah, I moved it.
What kind of chalk are they using that falls off the moment that you drive your car?
Well, you can probably tell, right? It's either perfect chalk or it's like a bit scuffed chalk.
So they have to be good at checking the integrity of the chalk application.
So it's like a forensic scientist. They go, this chalk's been here for 2 days.
Great training as well. You imagine all the parking inspectors on day one with buckets of coloured chalk on the desks. Little mini tyres.
I've drawn a little flower.
How long?
We just want crosses.
Yeah. How long has that flower been on that tire? What is your preferred way to drive into a car spot?
Parallel or perpendicular?
Either or, Josh.
I love a parallel because it tests your skills, right?
Yes.
And there's nothing I like more than a high pressure parallel park with people around.
in the car.
In the car and around.
God, this is
yeah.
fantastic.
It's so exciting.
The benefits of being a straight white male in society. But seriously, you would. Oh my God, is there a sport? Is there a parallel parking sport in a stadium?
Well, the fact of the matter is AI has taken over now, and they're parking cars for us.
But if there's driving as a sport, surely there's parking as a sport as well.
Surely.
That's great.
Surely.
That's great.
That is great. That's a great idea. So what would be some of the competitions? You'd have reverse parallel under pressure. Absolutely. People in the
putting you
car.
off.
I've got it.
And then the variables of what's in the car. Loud music.
What about your hand is stuck to the passenger seat? The passenger seat as you're doing a reverse park. So it's stuck there.
I thought you were going to say what it should be is you either do one-handed dominant and then one-handed off.
Yeah.
You got those two separations.
So you have to drive left and right hand.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What do you think
Or actually, the also preferred side, i.e. in Australia, you'd be parallel on the left. You know when you have to do parallel on the right? It's really difficult.
very tough.
Possible.
It's so different.
Some...
I feel as though when I'm reverse parallel parking, I feel like when I'm reverse parallel parking, when I'm ready, like when I've got my car in the right spot, I dissociate from my body. And it's like otherworldly. I enter this weird flow state where I'm not even worried about where looking at the angles. I know exactly how to get into the spot.
Time slows down. There's a hummingbird outside your window, slow.
I can see its wing.
The other one, what about a perpendicular, a very narrow space? Have you ever parked in such a narrow spot that you've had to climb out the window?
I'm assuming you have, considering you've said it.
No way. No way.
There was one in the city once that it was a multi-level one and it was just super, super narrow.
I reckon it was a motorbike spot. Yeah.
But why so desperate to go in that? Why didn't you just reverse out and find another park?
No, because it was full. And I was like, well, this one's here. And it was next to a pole as well. So I was like, great, loving this.
Not bad.
But I'll be like, I'm not going to risk opening the door here. I'm just going to scoot out over the top.
Holy shit.
And once I saw, which was amazing, a smart car parked the opposite way. So in a parallel spot, it was parked perpendicular.
How did it get in there?
I guess it just went in.
And how does it get out?
It's a smart car.
But the Mentos had, so people just carry it out.
And now it's time for Oh Wow of the Week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. The M's in M&M's stand for Mars and Muri, after the two businessmen who created the candy-covered chocolates. Their names, Forrest Mars and Bruce Muri, M and M.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Earlier in the year, I was in Tasmania, a bit of a tale of Tasmania, and I was on a boat and on the way to Mona and noticed that there was this awful, awful looking building on the way to Mona. And I was like, I wonder what this is. And I looked it up on Google Maps and it happened to be a smelter. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. But it was a smelter with quite a high review rating on Google Maps. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I had a read of some of the reviews and it turns out that they were quite funny. One of them said, I miss the friendly people. I miss the smell of cadmium and purification. I enjoyed pouring the metal, the teamwork in a disciplined setting. I have fond memories in retirement. Wishing you all well. And I hope Nice Star Smelter and its people progress well. There's a few others which I can go through. But it made me think these people are having fun in these reviews. But sometimes you leave a review and, typically you're serious about it. So I wanted to know from you guys, under what circumstances will you leave a review for a smelter?
I feel for me, it's pretty much exclusively restaurants. I don't think I bother monuments, and I don't bother with any of that stuff.
Yeah, you're not leaving a review for the Louvre, right?
No, maybe a business but I don't frequent. Like I feel like it's places that I go to a lot.
Josh, you've brought up the fact that your jeans were immaculately repaired.
Yes.
Have you left a review for that place?
No, I haven't. But you know what? If I went back 2, 3, 4 times more, I'd be like, yeah, this is great. I really like the place. I'm going to leave it a review.
Why?
Oh.
But wait. Why wouldn't you leave a review after going there once and them doing a great job?
You said it yourself, mate. Going there once.
Oh,
I've only been there once.
interesting.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
very
Maybe I got lucky.
interesting.
Maybe I got
Very
So
lucky.
you want
Interesting.
to make sure that the star system is an average of your experiences.
Yes. I want to know how much of it is a one-off and how much of it is the consistent service.
Okay, so this is where, Josh, I think I now understand why people give 2, 3, and 4 star reviews. Because for me, leaving a review is a very reactionary thing. I will do it the moment after the restaurant or the service.
So you're reviewing off the hip.
And I'm hot. I'm coming in real hot with pleasure or pain.
Yep.
Thumbs are blazing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you go home, like it's too late. You got to do it at the time.
Yes. It's 5 or 1 for me. And I've always thought, I've always been curious, who's doing 2s, 3s, and 4s?
2's pointless.
2's pointless.
3's
Why?
kind of pointless.
Well, what's the purpose of a review? What are you trying to do with a restaurant? Because you don't want to destroy their livelihood unless the food is shit.
No, I think it's for other people, right? So I'm never going to write suggestions in my review. Go, hey guys, it'd be really good if you could include
Yes.
this for next time,
Yes.
because
Okay.
that's the personal email to the place.
Yeah.
It's just for whoever's visiting to give them an idea. Like, for example, I will often review restaurants and say, aren't many vegan options?
great. Yep.
That
makes
is
sense.
valuable information.
It's very valuable.
Now, between a 5 and a 4, Dion, what are you knocking a star off for?
5 is just exceptional, right? 5 is, and it's the same as Christian. When you're leaving a review, it's like, I want other people to have this experience. So if it's a 4, knocking off a star, it probably isn't much to do with the food, I reckon. It's more about the service or the ambience or something. Like if it's a 4, I reckon the food is really good, but the knockoff is for the service.
Yeah, the food is really good. The service was lovely, but the music was way too loud.
And it was cold. It was the music was very cold.
All the staff were too young.
The food is very loud and the music is very cold. I've realised that a 5 star is like, this is great. I think stars get knocked off for me if it is a fundamental, consistent part of the business. If I have a one-off like, the waiter dropped something or spit, I was like, whatever, man, a one-off, don't mind.
Yep.
If there's a fundamental aspect, I'm like, that's kind of bad. That to me warrants ripping a star off.
Yeah, sure. So it's ingrained. It's systemic.
It's not just like my one-off little experience where, this thing happened. They got the change wrong, whatever. You know,
But
I'm not knocking a star
How
off. but-
often are you leaving those reviews, Josh?
Rarely. I feel like I do.
interesting.
The way Google Maps prompts me though, I do write them. I go, I will review that place because I'd be very happy with that.
That's the thing. It's kind of dangerous because most of the time when I speak to you guys, like friends of mine, very rarely do they say that they're the type of person who reviews.
Yeah.
But I rely so heavily on reviews.
same.
So who am I trusting? Who are these people?
Well, because I've realized that exactly to your point, I kind of write the review that I would want to read.
Right.
So I'm like, what would I want to know? And your case in point about the veganism, Christian, is perfect.
Yep.
It's like, if you're a vegan, like, I'd love to know that. I'd love to know how they're going with that stuff. So I would be like, these are the things I really like about it. I thought it was great. Everyone's friendly. It was awesome.
Sometimes it's important to be scathing in a review. If something is terrible, if the service
Absolutely.
is shit, there's a place in the city, there's a dumpling place in the city. It's one of the worst meals I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I just wrote a bit of a review because they didn't give a shit. The food was terrible. And there's one place in St Kilda that's a bakery, and I'm going to name the bakery.
Don't name it.
No, it's not. I'm not going to name it. They were so rude there that I was almost going to give them 5 stars because the rudeness was just, it was extraordinary.
It's called the Roast Me Bakery.
Yeah, they just do roasts. But it was so good that I was like, I honestly think other people need to experience this. But I was having a think before the show, what sort of categories of reviewers are there? And I broke it down into a few little ones. There's the complainer. There's the improver. There's the troll. There's the irrelevant reviewer.
Great. The worst.
The
Most
worst.
pointless of them all.
Yeah, well, there is actually the pointless. There's the once-off reviewer. There's the polarizer. There's the retired boomer reviewer.
Oh, God, the worst reviewer.
And the last one, which I reckon is the funniest, there's the brief reviewer. which just says
Good.
Yeah.
Just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That adds nothing.
Well, it must add something because they feel like they're contributing to some form of community. I think that those review, like whether it's booking.com or Hostel World, they make it feel as though you're contributing something. So good, maybe that resonates with someone.
I feel if you're going to bother with the good, don't have any words. Just give the star and get out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm big on the word. I think the words should tell the story, whereas the stars is the quick overview.
So recently on one of our Patreon monthly Zooms, one of our patrons, Michael, was telling us about an activity that he likes to partake in, which I have since really been spiraling on, which is going onto Google Maps, picking a location, reading the reviews of that location, finding someone who's left an interesting review, and then going and reading all of their other reviews and seeing how far you can spiral into their life and then their locations and on and on. And I was just, before I came here, I was interested to see what the reviews were like for a police station that was nearby me, and I found just a few in a row series of great reviews that I'd like to read out. So this is for a place called Sunshine Police Station in Victoria, and the individual here, I think I can say this person's name because it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
It's Sion. Sion's profile picture is a black and white selfie of himself with big aviator sunglasses on. So he means business, and he writes, Sunshine Police Station, it's 1 star, by the way. The No Hope Station. I go into station for help against fraud. They said they need to be convinced. What a joke. But they quick to rush out and give people fines, even innocent ones, is the worst part. Right? So I thought that Sion was quite an interesting character. So I had a look at the other reviews that he'd given. For example, McDonald's in Derrimut. He wrote, can never get any orders right at this useless place. Too many workers having an effing yarn. Not focusing on people's orders. # sack, # manager, please. And in Google reviews, the hashtags don't link to anything.
I was going to say, because he #sack and then #manager.
Okay, so
correct.
it's 2 separate hashtags.
2 separate hashtags, # sack, # manager, please. And then I kept scrolling and I found his review for KFC Brimbank, which I enjoyed, but it was the next one that I found after, so I'm going to read them both.
Oh, God.
At KFC Brimbank, he wrote, I can't stand these workers at this effing KFC. I'm not sure if they are straight dumb or stupid at taking orders. FML, one job but can't get it right. So I was curious about KFC Brimbank at what kind of reviews people leave there, and I found the best review of this particular spiral. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but for some reason I think you two will. Yeah. So, Josh Dion, we are at KFC Brimbank. We have a 1-star review by Srikanth. Srikanth says, change the bloody oil. Me and my wife fell sick after eating here. Pain in abdomen. Don't use oil until it gets bitter and stinks. What? Train the staff properly. You won't save much money by using inedible oil. We come to buy fried chicken, not oil-soaked chicken. Everything comes from the supplier. All you need to do is fry the chicken to perfection. Send the manager to eat at the KFC in Ballon service station. Learn something from them.
Obsessed with the oil.
Yeah, obsessed.
And knows heaps about it.
But my favourite part was, of course, pain in abdomen. So, like he was experiencing the pain right
What's
then.
it about the oil has to be bitter?
Don't use oil until it gets bitter and stinks.
But this one's very sweet and fragrant. Don't use it. Don't use it. It must be bitter and stinks.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
Now, every once in a while on Welcome to Patchwork, we like to take really good and mix it up a little bit. And for this week, we're asking, you know what's nearly good? Hearing your name called out for a takeaway order, only to realise the order is for someone else called Christian.
Nearly good.
Nearly good.
And do you know what's nearly good? The moment in time when the pedestrian light on the other side of the road flashes from blinking red person to solid red person.
Oh, nearly good.
Nearly good.
Nearly good. And you know what's nearly good? When you're rollerblading and you go to ground wearing knee pads.
Nearly good. Nearly good. Nearly good. You know what's
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. This has been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for having those little magnetic drivers in your ears. We have a Patreon page. And Josh, Patreon is something that everyone should do.
Yeah, it's a massive, massive support to the show. So we thank all of our patrons dearly. It helps fund the show. It keeps it running. Like, there are costs associated with this. We want to do more of it. If you can spare a couple of bucks a month, we would love you to sign up to be a patron. You get bonus content in the off week, but the main thing is it supports us, and we love those who do, and we love all of you, but those who financially support us, thank you so much.
And we also there's a Zoom call. We try and make it a monthly Zoom call where you get to chat to us and hang out with other people who listen to the podcast and talk a lot of shit.
Of course, and the bonus patches, Dion.
Yes, the bonus patches.
Every other week, you get a fresh mini patch in your feed. It's very exciting stuff. Don't forget also, if you haven't followed us yet on social media, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter. Facebook's really gone out the fucking window, hasn't it?
It has.
So, to be honest, that's just a replication of our Instagram. All of the focus is on our Instagram. But if you want to chat to us, we've got a Discord now.
Oh, yeah.
We're all learning what Discord is. Josh made us get it, and we're very grateful. Josh, it's nice to be able to chat with you guys like instant messaging.
No, it is great because people who listen to this show have a similar sense of humor. So it's great to be able to, chat online.
Absolutely.
As we do every week. We sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into our quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week was me winning first place in the Parking Olympics and receiving 5 Gold Star medals. Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch your 5-star review for the Roast Me Bakery. They roast me so hard I get pain in abdomen. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is Josh driving too close to the loudspeaker at a drive-thru and climbing through the window of the car to place his order at the new fast food restaurant in town, OSC, oil-soaked chicken. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wonderful, glorious smelter. When I see you, my heart does a melter. Belching lovely warm steam into the air. Ours is truly a great love affair. No man can come so close to satisfying all my desires. All this source of raw material for saws, hammers, and pliers. And my favourite, whoever smelt it, dealt it.